This is Chris Morrow at Comic Con at Home, and I am remotely connected at the Tin Fish. The panel is Women of Color in Comics, Race, Gender in the Comic Book Medium. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Please introduce yourself and tell me where your home is.
Okay, I'm an illustrator. I'm Jules Rivera. I'm out of North Hollywood, California.
Hi, I'm Regine L. Sawyer, and I'm out of Queens, New York.
I'm Jonita Davis, and I'm out of Indiana, the Midwest, near Chicago. Yeah.
I'm Marqueeda LaStar, and I'm from Los Angeles.
Hey, I'm Camilla Zhang. I'm a comics and prose writer and a Kickstarter consultant, and I live in Brooklyn, New York.
Great,
I
well,
want to
welcome.
totally throw up like where Brooklyn at, but I know nothing about that life.
That's Di.
Tell me about the panel. How did it go?
I think the panel went really well. We covered a lot of, really important topics, right?
Yeah, I think it went. I think it went great.
I too thought it was a great conversation. I think we kept it entertaining, but also giving, I think, valuable information and opinions and things that just need to be said and put out there, especially in the climate that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
I just saw it. I just watched it, and it was really interesting to be outside of it. And I enjoyed it just for the simple fact that it was entertaining, but informative and educational. And I said, wow, I want to know those ladies, and I want to know their industry. And meanwhile, I'm sitting up there hosting it. It was funny.
I feel like this isn't the first time we've done this panel before. So it's not that we have the same conversations over and over again, but it's a reiteration, to be honest. And it's just like, it's always interesting, but it's usually like the topic doesn't usually change, you know what I mean? Because we haven't achieved parity yet.
Not really. We're like 2020, this crap. Yeah.
Right?
We've been working on this for decades.
Yeah. Our ancestors have been working on it. It's a passed down struggle, unfortunately. So we're staying in there. We're gonna see the mountaintop.
I'd be interested to hear what was discussed in the panel.
Well, the panel in general is a panel discussion series that we've had with San Diego Comic-Con for about the past 4 years. So every year is sort of like just a commentary on what's happened within the year and how it's affected us all individually, as well as us as a community, specifically with our organization, Women in Comics Collective International. We're all members. So a lot of things have been happening this year between COVID-19, we discussed that, and the racial injustices that have been happening. So we talked about all of that, and that's usually what we go along with, whatever is going on during the year.
And I always like to add on that I think we all do our part in trying to. We ain't got all the answers, but we try to share what we're doing, how we're coping, new resources we discovered, new developments. I think like Regine says, it's like an update of what's going on and currently how we're handling it.
Almost like a reminder that, hey, it ain't going away. This isn't post anything yet. We're not there. This is still happening. But, these are some of the things we're doing to, make sure that we do our part. But yeah, I think having it there, it does be the same old. But I think that, it needs to be a part, and it needs to be reiterated. Some people need to keep hearing it. I mean, we're living it, but I mean, some others need to keep hearing it to know that it's still happening. We still work on it.
Do you find it was more effective being online than being at a physical panel, maybe because more people were able to watch it?
I mean, I'll take more watchers. Like, hey, let's do this. More viewers. Let's all talk about these things. Usually the panels that we do, they don't open to nearly like the thousands of views that you could see online. So yeah, sure, I'll take it. If that means getting the message out, hey, we'll do it.
I would even argue that I think we don't want to preach to the choir. We need allies. We need assistance. We need other people who don't quite understand what we're going through, where we're coming from, what we need to be there as well. So we kind of need everybody in the room. So we're very happy to have an inclusive audience.
Yeah, and then it kind of makes it where you can kind of go back and pull people like, hey, we're having this conversation over here. I remember Comic-Con last week, this panel, let me go get this link, so we can have people watch it continuously after. You don't have to be in the hall and bring your notes. You can just come and see us again.
I also feel like it was a little bit more intimate. We were able to just it was a little bit more relaxed, you know what I mean? I feel like because we're in our own homes and we kind of all know each other like peripherally, we can sort of like chat as friends as opposed to like being on stage, being watched, Of course we're being watched, but it's not something that we are cognizant of at the time because it's just another Zoom call type of situation. So it feels a little bit more like a more intimate conversation as opposed to kind of performative, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to feel as on, and you can kind of the flow of the conversation is a little bit more like casual and fluid and did we curse? I think we cursed. We probably
we cursed.
No, did we?
Oh my God.
It does get real candid. It does get real because we know each other. We see each other at the con.
But if you went on Twitter, people loved it. I'm still getting like responses and tweets from the panel, and that'll be on, for the rest of however long Comic-Con keeps it up there.
We have no regrets.
Right? No regrets. And I think people really appreciated it. And I think
a real conversation.
We do it
frank
in person,
and real
too.
Conversation. Yeah.
But they appreciate it when we do it in person too. It's like, oh, these people are personable. Like, oh, this is, these are events that they're talking about that also affect us too. But it looks like we have our other panelists here. So happy to see you.
Sorry, I'm late. Mommy issues. Hi, I'm Vanee, for anyone out there who doesn't know me. I'm an educator. I work with Blurred Galaxy as well. I'm the editor at large, I think is the title, and Women in Comics West Coast. And so I'm just jumping into the conversation a little bit late. I'm still learning to navigate the mommy working from home thing. That's been fun. But here I am, and I'm very excited to be here. And I totally agree with everything everyone else said about the comfort and just kind of chill way we were able to do our panel for San Diego. We do them every year. Women in Comics is a staple at San Diego Comic-Con. And a long-standing staple, and so it was really cool to still be able to offer that to the audience that pretty much always comes out when we have our panels at WonderCon in San Diego and all the bigger New York and all the big cons. So it was really cool to still be able to contact and connect, knowing that the people who expect to see us will still be able to see us, but also to see us, kind of like Camilla said, like kind of chill. Like we were talking about like, hair and makeup for a minute there. We were just kind of like hanging out. So that was really cool and really awesome. I really love having that super intimate, super relaxed, just having a Zoom conversation at home vibe that we were able to give it. So that was pretty awesome.
I would like to end this with you guys giving some advice to people that want to get involved on how to support you and how to support, what's going on out there.
I would say go to our site, like us on social media, visit Blurred Galaxy, go to all the different places where you can find the work of these women of color and minority people and LGBTQ. Reach out. We're out here. We did not go away when the pandemic started. So we're still all out here. We're still all putting out work. Reach out, find us, like us, share us, and just make sure that you amplify the voices that need to be heard.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we are often sharing our words. I mean, another sister put it much more concise than I ever could. But, we're sharing how to help us, what we're going through our art, through our words, almost in any way you can express ourselves, we're putting out there. But like Vanee said, Blurred Galaxy and also Women in Comics, we have lists. We have resources, but we also have ways you can connect with artists, and we're doing that even online. So I think we're constantly trying to connect people with ways they can help. We always want to try to provide a solution. We can't solve it by ourselves, but we definitely would we appreciate all and any help. Yeah.
Well, Women in Comics, we just opened up our membership and opened it up and relaunched it. We have membership tiers and we have benefits for members where they can get discounted printers for distribution, even meditation classes, art supplies. We have all of the various different things that marginalized folks within the industry need, and folks in general. It's like whatever you need, we have it. We're here for you, and we definitely, appreciate people's support.
I'd like to add that, like, yeah, we, go to the website Women in Comics, but also I think a large, like on a macro level, what people can do to help marginalized voices is to not look towards the big guys to solve the problem. You need to go to indie comics where they are, whether that's through Patreon or Kickstarter or yeah, Jules has a webcomic called Manic Pixie Scream Girl.
This is Love Jules' title.
Love Jules.
What I'm trying to make here is find the independent creators, support their work, elevate their voices, because independents are the ones who've been saying all this realness for years. It's usually the big guys who like to sanitize voices and make it really nice and safe for everyone.
Yeah. And they usually get on the bandwagon a little bit late. So like we've been asking for diverse voices for decades, right? And now they're starting to see how popular marginalized voices are, and it's good for business. So now they're hiring more. But if you really want to support independent creators, marginalized voices, start from the ground up. Go to, shameless plug, I don't work there anymore, but go to Kickstarter Comics, there's so many independent voices to support over there. And, Scholastic and Random House Graphic and First Second are great for kids, but it's twofold. If you're not a comics fan, become a comics fan and understand that comics aren't just for kids. Comics are not just superheroes. You have autobio comics, you have biography comics, you have comics about Artemisia Gentileschi. Comics it's just another medium, and it can be used to tell any story. So that's kind of on a very macro level. So if you are a comics fan, share it as much as you can with your friends who are not comics fans. And then from there, going to places that nurture independent voices, like Kickstarter, like Patreon, like in the old days, it was Tumblr. I'm trying to think of new sites, you can go to Webtoon, you can go to—
They're reviving Tumblr.
There's this new reader called Global Comics that helps independent creators monetize their work. And so that's kind of where you go to support marginalized voices, you know.
And I just want to reiterate, I'm the editor of
An educator, you aren't using comics.
Yes, and so I want to reiterate that, go to the source. Don't go to the guys who haven't lived it, who don't know it. They're jumping on the bandwagon. The indies have been talking about this for years. So go to an independent creator. Go to a creator of color. Go find somebody with some melanin. So they can help you out. They can show you. Camilla is a fount of, she has all this information there. Go to someone like her. Don't talk to somebody who thinks they know, because we can give you the information, and we're out there. We're everywhere. Just look for us. Okay.
Don't speak for people of color either. Let them speak for themselves.
Exactly.
The own voices hashtag is pretty great.
It is.
Thank you, ladies. I appreciate this. I'm Chris Morrow at Comic-Con at Home, remotely connected to the Tin Fish, and we miss you, and we'll see you next year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
San Diego!